Don't blink, welcome to another worst intro. Let's redo that. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. You guys are doing well. We're having a wonderful 27 June 2024. We can see outside is beautiful. We're filming it, so we don't need to focus on that because today it is a subject of focusing. I want to shout out Janice or Dennis95 for the ID of the video. Not necessarily the ID of the video, but we talked about it today. And I saw the importance that it had for him, and it had importance for me. So I'm like, holy shit, I'm not alone in this. And today we're talking about two shows. It's gonna be a long video, so grab a snack. I do have Snyder, cayenne pepper pretzel, which are phenomenal. Um, we even have some wine, but it's in 5:30. You cannot drink wine at 5:30. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but for me, it's not something I want to do. Long story short, just the subject is Big Brother and Survivor. So, why Big Brother and Survivor? Well, they're both game with mental difficulty. It's both social game. It's both physical strength game. It's very kind of almost complicated. It's almost as if it's there's so many similarities. For Janice, it's Survivor, and Survivor is a great show. The fact that you're on an island and you have to survive, not horrible, but you have to survive and dire condition where you're chasing what you're eating, where you have to fend for your food, where you have to do some challenges. There's betrayal, there's mind game, there's a social game. Janice brought a subject that is phenomenal, right? And I know it's weird because I'm kind of doing this video for him, and it does seem like it's not a video like that. It does seem like it's not a video that I necessarily want to make, but it's not true. I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and I did bring the subject of Big Brother in another video, but it was so long ago, and I realized that I didn't do a videos proper on that. So it was talking about maybe in a mukbang that I did. But again, when I do mukbang, I don't put the subject because I rather be going in blind. I think going in blind is important. Just to go back to the subject, like with Survivor, the fact that you constantly have a chance to be betrayed. Janice was bringing the subject of what is more important, a mental game, a physical game, or a social game. What do you think is more important? And to me, and I'm playing with the Anthony toy. Sorry, I fit it a lot. It's a new toy, so let me fit it a little bit. And um, Survivor wasn't so okay. I put it that way, right? When and that's actually completely, you can fact check me, I don't care. This is the honest truth. When I was a young lad, a young boy, we had like only like a couple of channel in English, and one of them was Global, and Global had Big Brothers. I think they had Survivor, but I'm not sure. Now, Big Brother was something I was really, really interested in because again, it felt crazy, but that's not the only reason. They did a show that was Big Brother. Can't believe it. They were going way back, guys. We're going way fuck back. We're going back and early 2000. We're going back to TQS, which is now V or Nouveau for my French Canadian fans. We're going back to TQS, and TQS had a show that was called Big Brother, but it was the Quebecer version of it, or the French Canadian version of it. So the same concept, the same show, but in French Canadian. And believe me or not, this was my first reality, and that's nuts. And then like I'm saying, one of the only reality TV show that I had was again Big Brother. There was a certain charm to it because again, as a kid, it was a cool show. It was drama, it was people living together, and it's nuts because, and I don't mean to flex, I don't mean to brag, but it's the evolution of what that show meant for me. There's a couple of shows that meant a lot for me. There's a couple of shows like Kenny versus Penny, Taylor Trip Our Boys. There's a lot of songs that meant something to me, that changed me as a person. There's the fact that Big Brother did that for me is kind of crazy. So at first, Big Brother, when I was a kid, it was those adults that were swearing, and it was cool because again they were swearing and they were doing. It felt like, again, it was reality TV, so it wasn't like there wasn't like a script. It was nice. It was really nice to see something that went against everything that I knew, everything that I saw as proper TV, right? And it's funny because I remember very shortly watching UFC Ultimate Fighter, and that was kind of my second reality show. And I was like, okay, well, there's a lot of similarity. There's drama and everything, and of course, they're chasing a dream. But Big Brother was chasing money, right? And then I went into my apartment, which is this apartment right here. Yes, we've been here for 12 years. It's been a fucking long time we've been here, and I fucking love this place. I love this place to death. This is my home. This is my everything. You know, and so when it started, right? Again, I'll be completely honest. I was raised in a house where my father, my mom, she was amazing, but my mom, she always needed that. I need to go out. I need to see people. I need to be social. I need to go to parties to be happy. And I was like, no, I like being alone. I like having my own space. So then, automatically as a kid, what you do is you latch onto the other parents. But my father was also wrong. My father was living to work, not working to live. He was working to live. He was living to work. He would talk about his. He would work 8 hours. We'll talk about his job after. It felt like it was pride, right? It felt like it was pride, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you're kind of like not necessarily addicted, but that's the only thing that you care. That's the only thing that's going on in your life. And again, you tend to latch on thing that's happening in your life. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna be on my own, and I feel bad saying this, but seeing my parents overdo it, my mom on the social side and my father on the work side, and become, well, I need my place alone, and I don't want to work as hard as I should, which is something that still follows me to this day. Been making videos, I'm working harder, which is great because again, it's the question of evolving as a person. So I wasn't working and I was downloading shows from YouTube. But back then it was hard because back then, the SD card, and I swear to God, the SD card was 128 gig, was 256 gig, and it wasn't that much of a show. Like I would listen to shows the whole entire days. Now, what really saved my ass, and again, don't worry, we're still talking about Big Brother. It almost like almost a constant evolution. It's almost a snowball effect that led to this video. What really saved my ass was a radio show, a radio channel, to be quite honest. It is Radio X, which was a French Canadian product that we're talking about politics, that we're talking about how the world was, and it was very communism. It was very communist. Like, oh, I don't want to pay this much for my burger. And then we're talking about things that happened, and they were like, well, guess what? We're gonna put our twist on it. We're gonna tell our opinion. So it was an opinion radio, which was something that I never knew. I was used to either radio being funny shows that would talk about like culture and stuff, and I was used to other shows that were more serious, and they would talk about they would talk about event that happened, but it was more so as we're presenting the event versus we're analyzing this event. And I always felt more important it was to analyze the subject. Don't tell me something is happening. Tell me why it's happening. To me, understanding why the world is the way it is more important than seeing the way the world is right now, because understanding can tell you what you did, what you went wrong, what you would do different, and create an opinion of yourself. Opinion radio, understand? So, sadly, that wasn't the case of a lot of people. A lot of people didn't watch the show. So, it turned into sports. And again, it was cool because when it was the opinion radio, I wasn't working. When it turned into sports, I was working. But that job didn't end up well. I ended up on my big depression, my 2015 depression, which fucked me up really bad. Again, my friend had unalived himself. My girlfriend, that I thought was the love of my life, broke up with me. Because I was sad because my best friend unalived himself. But that's not true. She left me because I was sad and I wouldn't tell her why. And it was a problem of communication, but I didn't want to make her sad by telling her why I was sad, because I knew she would be sad if I told her why she was sad, because she knew the guy. So I come back to a home, and now there's another reality. I have money, and that job was a workshop job. It was paying well, and for the first time in my life, so okay, this is gonna be really insane. Again, I was raised in a very conservative home where money wasn't a something we had a lot of. My mom eating fucking stale bread so I could eat chicken, fried chicken, like self-sacrifice, which is amazing. Thank you, mom. But when I first came into the apartment, it was like I don't want to really work. I don't have a lot of money, so we're gonna chill. We're gonna be listening to. We're gonna be playing video games. We're gonna be listening to a podcast or radio. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be just chilling, and that's what we did. That's what we did. We did that for like a 10, 11 months. The best thing I did was download some mangas, read some manga. When I look back at that time, I'm looking back at it positively. All I did there was working out. You can see the gym. You can see the gym right here. I would do, the only thing I would do is work out because I had nothing else to do. I would play my PS3, I would play Skyrim, and I would listen to radio, and that's how I started. Now I had a job because of course I needed money, right, to pay the rent and everything like that. And I came back and I was not rich, but I spent a year and a half doing more often than not 6 days a week. I was making a lot of cash, but I wasn't at work, so I didn't spend it. So again, I went into kind of like a depression where I would eat a lot. And then I would look for shows to watch. And what is insane, what is completely fucking insane, was one of the shows that was for free on YouTube was Big Brother UK. Now, there's something completely different that completely changed my mind. And it was Celebrity Big Brother and Big Brother in itself. So those two shows were free. I could watch the entire season, and it was a drug. It was absolutely a drug for multiple reasons we'll get into. And what I'm not saying is, you can see in the window. You can see in the window. I'll show you. Wait. Look how dark it is. Holy shit. Aguanta la video, you see? You can see here. This is an antenna. So you're basically getting the. Oh, can you see it? No. Wait a sec. Sorry. We have an antenna, which is something I bought for like $20. And one of the channels I would get was global, so I would be able to watch Big Brother. And I was obsessed with it because I had two versions of Big Brother, which. So sorry. And yeah, sorry, I wanted to show you that. And with the antenna, I was able to get global, which again is basic cable. It is one of the only channels we have in Montreal that is free for English people. So that is CBC, and I was like, okay. I was able to watch Big Brother. That was obsessed with that. I would make it on purpose so I could watch the show that was going on live, and watch the Celebrity Big Brother. And what was cool about it was there wasn't this need to watch Big Brother UK as people, but Celebrity Big Brother was another thing. And I would get my fix of Big Brother with the Celebrity Big Brothers. We had, again, I think 12 seasons for like a week. I don't know if you're gonna math, that's 3 months. Then I restarted it. So I watched over 6 months of Big Brother. And the night I would watch the Big Brother, or can't even remember to say this. And it's so cool. I would watch not the recast, what do you call it? When it's like, okay, well, it didn't happen today, it happened yesterday, but we're gonna show it again. I used to watch it. Why was Big Brother so influential for me? Even as a kid, I was alone. Even as a kid, I didn't have any other social skill because I was more focused on gaming. I was more focused on video games. And Big Brother, which was crazy, I was depressed. I was at home. I didn't want to go outside. I was gonna be staying home. I didn't talk to my father. I didn't talk to my mom. It was always about being alone, and it was weird because I didn't want to go out, which actually was caused by depression, but ended up being agoraphobia. So staying at home for so long made me fear the outside world, which I stayed at home. I was afraid to go out. I was seriously afraid. So again, being afraid, I wouldn't go out. But thankfully, I had every single season of Big Brothers on my SD card, and I could watch. Right. So why was Big Brother so intense? Was because those people were stuck in a house. I was stuck in a house. Those people were. Can't believe I'm going to say that. I cannot believe I'm going to talk about this. It's a really hard video to make today. I'm going to be honest. Um, they were in a room full of stranger, and the only time that I would go out was to get some food because again I was overeating, I was obese. I think I'm fat now. You should have seen back then. I would go almost every 2 3 days out to get some food in a there's a store next to my house that sells chips and everything, and I would buy my meals were 2 bags of chips, a dessert doesn't matter the dessert, and Monster, and yeah, so I would go to the store and I spent so much time alone that my body, my brain was screaming, "Hey, socialize!" There was a lack of socializing of socials. So my brain, like an addict, was like, "Okay, well, you're gonna get this dose of social. That's the only dose you're gonna get. Let's use this the best we can." So, but then again, they were strangers. So I felt like I was in a room full of stranger, and Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother was also about. It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. It was also about like just like Survivor, it was about betrayal. And since it was the only like way of seeing social, but at the same time you would be, and I feel bad saying this, but you would almost like do a research on those people. You would also almost um be like scientists in it and be in like labs and a maze and look at people and the way they react and look at other people and the way they react. And I want you to understand something. I watched over and over for like 4 or 5 times 16 or 15 season of 20 people each, which makes me understand those people, makes me know how they're gonna act, how they're gonna react. So if you analyze those people, and if you're good at math, that is 300 people, right? And you study them, and it helped me, which is crazy. It helped me understand people. It helped me develop empathy. It helped me have a gut feeling of who's a good person and who's not a good person. And of course, what was funny about Big Brother is that it helped me so much. It really helped me socially speaking, but it was all theory. It was all like on paper. It wasn't practice. So practice was really hard for me because I was shy. But again, it was like, oh, I understand how it works, and in my back of my mind, I would analyze situation. And also, what was really good about Big Brother was the celebrity version was just a drama, and it was people that you knew. Like, of course, it was Celebrity Big Brother, but some of those celebrities I knew. Like, for example, there was a bunch of people from Georgia Shore, Geordie Shore, Georgia, I believe. I don't know. There was Marnie. There was Stephen Bear. There was Ryan Lewis, which was great. There was Aubrey. There was who was the girlfriend of Pauly D at the time. There was a bunch of people that came from America, and you just watch them, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was understanding those people. It was control chaos. Big Brother was such an experience for me because again, I was a kid who wanted more from life. I was a kid who was obsessed with the Joker. Who was obsessed with anarchy, and it was control chaos. It was like, okay, well, we have to live together. So most people would be like, okay, well, we live together, but some of them would be like, no, it's a competition. Let's push each other's limits. One of the best player of Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother to me, is Stephen Bear. And Stephen Bear, a lot of people are gonna call him an asshole. And there's a lot of things that he did that was not okay, but he pushed other people button, and he played a game. He played a rough game, and to me, it's still a show that I look at fondly. It's still a show that I really took advantage of the way they were doing, the way they were acting, the way they were, and it's those people, and it's kind of crazy because those were all celebrity, right? And those celebrity, it pushes me because those celebrity, of course, were people that I not worship but admire, but it was also people that had dealt themselves with a lot of people. So like, okay, well, I'm learning from somebody that had a lot of experience, which is also always better. If you want to learn how to fucking fix a fridge, you're gonna go see somebody that knows what they're talking about. You're not gonna see a plumber to fix a fridge, right? And it was nuts because again, just seeing that and watching it over and over and over again, and paying attention, really paying attention. I remember the sixth or seventh time that I watched it, I was putting it fast. I was speed running it, and I was putting it at 2 times the speed. And it's weird because, and a first place you're watching the show, and not knowing what's gonna happen, and then after 4 or 5 times, you know by heart. So now it's not so much as what's gonna happen, it becomes what's gonna happen. No, it become why this happens. So that's what's on it, and then again, I would see the normal, the Canadian version or the American version of Big Brother, and there was challenges, there was veto alliances, which is more Survivor, and I would see that, and I would be like, okay, well, this is super interesting, and also Big Brother. What was kind of cool was the main show that I saw on Global, which to me was better. As I was able to really understand what was going on, I was really able to picture why they were doing this, what they were doing. I was really able to say, okay, well, guess what? I saw that show before. I can understand why they did it. And with the no, sorry, on the Celebrity Big Brother, I could do that. On the original, I was like, okay, well, this is exciting because I don't know what's going on, and it's kind of nuts because the most beautiful thing that I can tell you about ADHD is I don't retain information. I don't understand a lot of things I'm saying. Well, I do understand, but I don't realize a lot of things I'm saying because I don't have a filter. So your brain is gonna analyze things, and those lessons that I learned on Big Brother was, and it's fun because again I'm gonna be a dick, but there's so much like trashy reality TV. There's so much reality TV that you see that doesn't serve a purpose, and Big Brother was a trashy reality TV. You would look at it for alliances. You would look at it for drama. I still remember my favorite team, which was the Brigade, which was a group of three dudes who came along, who decided to be a brigade, and the first first or second show, and they lasted till the end. And one of them got eliminated, but the two others were good. And that's my story with Big Brother. That's why Big Brother was so important to me. Again, if I had to recap, if I had to make it a very summarized version of it, I was a kid who felt. I was a kid who felt trapped in his house, watching people trapped in their house. I was a kid who was craving social interaction, watching people have social interaction, and it was weird to me. It was really weird because, especially with the Celebrity Big Brother, and again, this is really pushed. Psychologically speaking, it's really pushed. But if you look at the core value of the show, you get a mini society. You got people that are more Russians than others. You got people that are better cook. You got people that are more physical. You got people that are kinder, and you got the good of society. You get the bad of society. People betray you. People aren't going to betray you. People are not going to be like, hey, give me everything you have. I'm a thief. But there's going to be people that are going to betray you to like you think they're your friend, they're not your friend. It's kind of the similar thing. It's kind of like it's more so the social interaction, understanding that these things happen. When I was young, one of the best lessons I learned is look at other people, the mistake they do, and don't do them. I was always, and that's very selfish, that's very narcissistic. But I was always a fan of watching people fail. I was always a fan of watching people get in trouble because I'm like, dude, I'm learning what you did wrong, and I'm basically getting a free lesson without having to suffer the consequences. So to me, and if it is for a lot of people, so if you analyze, for example, this guy stole, which is again a very common thing, but he stole and gets in trouble. Like you're learning the lesson not to steal because you got caught, and you're in trouble. And I'm learning the lesson to not to steal because I saw you get caught and I saw that you got in trouble. So I had this lesson, and it was, but again, Big Brother kind of ruined shit for me. It really ruined shit for me. It really hurt my person as a human being. I've always talked about the dark period of my life, the 23, 24 years old. It was a really, really dark period of my life where I didn't care about lying, right? I didn't care about manipulating people. I didn't care about who I was hurting as long as I was happy. And one of the reasons for that was because I was watching Kenny vs. Penny, which is, again, everything to win, right? And I was watching Big Brother, who was, again, everything to win. And I saw so many people get away with shit. And, of course, Big Brother is a show. It's not reality, but it served as reality. So there were people acting that way. There was no real consequences. And the reality of it is, I would watch, for example, my favorite season is season 2018. 2016, right? And with the 2016, there was real repercussion. But when I watched it, it was like 2017, 18. I didn't care about that because I was like, okay, well, guess what? There was no nothing in the news. There was no, and again in the show, it was like no consequences. There was this dude, one of the, I think it was Big Brother Canada. It was this guy called Martin. And shout out to Bruno, by the way. Bruno. Fucking love Bruno. If you don't follow Capone with a K, gaming on Twitch, on Kick, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, please do so. Dude was a contestant on Big Brother. Dude's a friend of mine. And it's weird because they were in the same season, and Bruno and Martin, the guy that name was Martin, knew each other. And Martin was the one that won the season, and Martin could have brought Bruno to the end. They were friends, and Bruno's like, nah, I'm a good dude. And it's kind of crazy to me. So let me tell you the story about Bruno. Once again, Capone Gaming, please follow him. Capone Gaming is a dude. It's nuts. It's actually a crazy story. He was on Big Brother Canada season 3. And I don't remember if it was on season 5, but I think he was. But it was on season 3. That's all you need to know. And I look at my TikTok, and I'm starting TikTok, and I'm seeing somebody like 8 of my videos, which again, I was a small channel, and then I look, and it was Capone, and it was him, and I was like, holy shit, I know you, dude. And I texted him and say, hey, I really appreciate you. And to me, what was really cool is, again, we're talking about years later, talking about a almost fully evolved Ink, which is 21, 22 years old. I was still kind of new to social media, and it was this dude who presented himself in a good fashion on TV, and then you talk to him and social media, and it was really cool because he was a good person here too. If I get more popular, I'm gonna interview him for sure. He's a good dude, and again, Big Brother and Survivor in the same fashion. There's people that are gonna say, hey, I'm gonna play a good physical game. I'm gonna play a good mental game, and it's just fantastic. I love Big Brother. I haven't watched a season of Big Brother in so long, and yeah, I miss it. I miss that time. I miss getting those lessons. I have no clue. There's shows that you're gonna watch, right? For example, I've watched Kenny versus Penny like 4. No, that's not true. I watched at least 10 times. 10, 15. I don't know the exact time, but I watched it a lot. And I understand there's a part of me that you're not gonna learn anything from Kenny vs. Penny. You're not gonna everything that you had to learn from that show you learned. And then you have the same thing for Big Brother because I watch it so often. But then at the same time, like, dude, what if you were not ready to learn some lesson? What if what you understood about the show could have helped you, could have made you a better social person, could have avoided me a lot of issue, a lot of bullying. Then again, if it wasn't for that bullying, I wouldn't be who I am. So it's like an easy mode to life, but you don't want to have the easy mode. You want to have the hard mode where you pass level. Life is but an RPG. You fight, you gain level, and at the end of the day, you get stronger. That's pretty much it. So yeah, so long ass video. Sorry about that. That I love you, that you matter. I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Oh.